So hi folks, just to indicate what we're looking at here, I'll just highlight the area with an ellipse. It says what we're looking at here is an indicator to give you an amount per pip, so your stop in pips, and also includes an ATR stop version as well, giving you the amount of pips if you're using ATR stop. I'll just quickly look at the configuration window. You have two versions here. This is the normal stops and ranges, and this is the ATR. So here's a configuration window. This is for the normal stops, and initially what you do is you put in your spread and clearance. So at the moment it's 5, but it's Sunday, so there's no trade-in. But let's just say this is DAC, so the spread during the daytime is 1.2 normally, give or take. Let's just say I'm going to have a 0.4, 0.8 with 0.4 either side for clearance. So I'm going to put in there my spread and my clearance. Then we'll put in my risk. Now by default, this is I think 25. So whatever you put in there is how it will calculate your risk. You have complete discretion on the amount of candles in the range, so you can use just 2 candles. Okay. For the range settings, whether that's an ATR stop or otherwise. And so if you put 20 in, it'll give you the calculation for your risk amount per pip for the range of the 20 candles and what your stop will be in pips based on your entry level. Now you can customize where you put this, and you can turn them on and off. So if I were to select the ATR, I just want the normal stops on, take the ATR off, put it back on, take the normal amounts off, just leave the ATR on. So it's quite customizable in that sense. Now when you have it on and you initially put it on with the default settings, you may find it overpriced or maybe somewhere else on the chart. So you can move it horizontally. Either way, you can put it anywhere on the chart actually. Just show you placement of that somewhere else. Just keep that on over there. And I can move it up and down. So if I wanted to move it down, shift down. Literally place it anywhere on the chart really. But it is dependent on, just put that back to 1. And move that across again to 9. So you can see that it's fully customizable in terms of placement. Then once that's there, what you can do then, your line spacing as well. You can change your line spacing. So if you want it closer together, if you get too close, they'll overlay each other. But the line spacing, you can spread them apart. And obviously, I'd want to shift that up a bit. So you can have the line spacing, any spacing you want, put it on anywhere on the chart, move it left or right, up and down, basically. So line spacing, oops, that's 6. Can't quite remember what it was. That looks okay. And then I want to move that down. So I'll just reduce the upshift for that one. Okay. And as I said before, you can switch them on and off. Only have one of them on. So that's the basic configuration window. Also included now is the font size, so you can change font size from 13 to 18, so that when you increase the font size, it increases accordingly. If you go above 18, it simply will stay at 18, and if you go below 13, it will stay at 13. Okay, don't do above or below that, because it's either then too small to see or it's taking up far too much space on the chart, but you may need that for eyesight issues or anything else that may help with contrast. So you can also change the font size between 13 and 18. And I'll just run you quickly how to install it as well, but talk a little bit about the benefits of the indicator. So what this does for you is when you're trading, if you're trading a 2-minute chart, or whether you're on the 4-hour or daily chart, doesn't really matter, but certainly on the 2 minutes, if I'm looking for the break of this candle here, I may want to take that high, so I'd be looking for the range of the last 2 candles, and or I might just want to take that candle. Okay, so as soon as that candle's open, I'd be looking at the prior candle, probably likely already having put my amount in anyway. But I don't want to have to work it out at that point, because that's too time consuming. So all this does for you is puts it on the screen at a glance. And I tend to put my values next to price action, so that when I'm looking at price action, I'm seeing the value that I need to put in the trade ticket there. So if I'm looking at the previous candle, that's, well, I wouldn't trade this, but it's 55.56 is what it's telling me. Okay, and it's simply that, and because I already know it's right, I don't have to work it out. I don't have to go, 6.5, or add my spread, my clearance, do that calculation. Actually really detracts your train of thought from trading and takes you out of the zone from assessing the trade, really. So I use this in order to just have that information there at a glance. I don't actually use ATR stops, very rarely, but I know people do, so I've included it. And the ATR that you use is fully customizable. So if I were to just go through the add-in as well, I'd go to price, configure, and then I would simply click on add, and I would choose candles per pip and range, and then I'd install the other one, candles per pip and range ATR, and then that would show in my indicator list in price, like that. And once you've got your settings, now I find that settings are best kept as presets. So I've done this as a new install for you, and then I would just simply click on add, and I'd say 2 minutes DAX daytime, and I would click on that, and that would simply save that preset for me for the DAX chart. And once you've set your charts up and you've got your presets, normally that's it, they're saved. Once you go back onto the charts, they're there automatically. Okay, so it's very easy to use, and the main reason for it really is to do that calculation for you. So you're not detracting your thoughts, having to do a rough calculation in your head. You're not putting on, a set amount without calculating your risk. It enables you to maintain good risk management without having to take yourself away, and allows you to have better technical entries because you're focused on the charts, on price action, and your strategies and not having to go away and calculate anything, even though that's maybe in terms of seconds, might be 10 or 20 seconds when you're on a 2-minute candle is quite a lot. And it also shifts your train of thought from the way you need to be thinking about getting your technical entry, and it might be setting an order or assessing the trade. It really does help you focus and stay in the zone. So that's the risk calculator, and it simply puts the information on for you. To me, that looks a bit cluttered. I tend to have the ATR switched off. I just keep that very simple, and I have it quite close to price action as well. So I normally have it down kind of quite round about there, and kind of in the center of price. Now it will move with price, and as I say, the line spacing will be dependent on the price movement to a degree. Okay, but it's pretty much set what it is. It stays in your line of sight during trading and remains close to price action, so it doesn't wander all over the place, and enables you to customize its position for your own aesthetics and keeping it out of the way of other things that you might have on your chart as well. So I hope that helps. It's very easy an indicator to use, and it's for me as a discretional trader, I do find it quite invaluable. I'm also a programmer for automated programs, but discretionary trading is what I enjoy, and I do find this tool invaluable. So I hope it helps you as well. And if you've got any questions, don't be afraid to ask. What's important, of course, is once if you've changed something, then that you save your presets. Also save your template. Yeah. And when you exit the platform, save on exit as well, because when you make changes in indicators, if you haven't saved an exit, they can disappear. Okay. Slight heads up for you there if you haven't come across that before. That does tend to happen sometimes. Okay, so I hope that helps. Any questions? Don't be afraid to ask.